And with that, we go from Mary Kay to Shaun King. What's up, Shaun? How you doing today, man? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year's, everybody. For some reason, I haven't been invited on the barbershop yet in 2026, so just mad at me now.
That's
obnoxious.
It's like it's 2 days in. By the way, it's like 3 days. He like, yo, it's a new year.
He has done one barbershop this year.
By the way,
you look extra Suge Knight today with that chain, man.
But he will be. But I will text you because I do want to talk. I need to talk about these offensive linemen and receivers. Which one the Browns looking at? I need to talk about that.
So there's some context for why I started this segment like that, because there's a sense of urgency that has to exist in 2026. And the first thing that I have to address is the delusion that exists when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. The organization is broke.
Yes.
When the house and the home has issues, it's got asbestos on one side, the pool has brown water in it, the front yard is overgrown. Sometimes you got to knock everything down in order to build a mansion. So this conversation that Andrew Berry, who's been there 6 years, only 2 winning seasons, 8-26 in the last 2 years. No matter what you think about the good in last year's draft, he drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. That brings the draft down to a 6. Like, what are we talking about? Oh, well, whoever comes in, they're going to have to keep Jim Schwartz. The organization is terrible. You're not going to dictate to the right coach. Like there are other jobs available. The Giants are available. The Falcons are available. The Titans are available. The Cardinals are available. The Raiders are available. Like, Cleveland, get out of your own way. What has Andrew Berry done to tell the right head coach, not a head coach, that I'm going to have final say, but you get some input? You can come here, but you got to keep Jim Schwartz. Are you kidding me? This not like Tony Dungy just retired in Indy, and we got Peyton Manning sitting here. Like, I'm going to inherit a Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders competition. I'm going to inherit a team that I don't think has a starting caliber offensive lineman under contract, and you're going to dictate to me the terms of this? Like, I'm pouring reality into the segment today. This is not a destination job. Stop acting like it. If you want the right guy, and by the right guy, I mean the right guy is not going to take a job as this one currently construed. Think about all the jobs Ben Johnson turned down before he took the Bears job. Like, if you want the right coach, that got to get out the way.
That's it. I mean,
best segment we've ever done.
That
Thanks,
was
Shaun.
the best rant in the history of the show. Shaun nailed it 100%. 100%. It's a clown. I went nuts yesterday that they kept Andrew Berry and that fans thought he deserved to have another year. It's crazy. And how about Jimmy Haslam saying, I take exception with the fact that you call the organization dysfunctional?
And Andrew Berry seems like a good guy.
Probably is.
All I'm saying, guys, is he limits the pool of candidates by him remaining as the GM.
That's right.
Because now, if you're the right coach, you have to fully 100% believe in Andrew Berry. And he's been there 6 years, guys. So when you look at the makeup of the roster, this is his team.
You're right. And Shaun, plus, as we talked about earlier, let's say somehow they find a good coach, potentially, that does believe in Andrew Berry for some crazy reason, and they have a bad year next year, and maybe Andrew Berry gets fired. Now you got to hook up with another GM that you don't even know, and he may not like you.
Yeah, I didn't know I was on the Bull show. Everybody else is mad at me now. They don't want
we're gonna let you get your money.
Yeah.
But here's what I will say. I always tell this, Shaun.
I love it.
These jobs don't come around once, but every once in a while. You may be one of them candidates that can pick and choose where you want to go. You could be one of them dudes. But you also might be a dude that understands you ain't going to get that many opportunities. And so you look at the job.
So let me stop you right there, G. Bush.
Okay.
Because some of the names I've heard, Robert Saleh went to the Jets, dysfunctional. He's not going what he knows is probably his last opportunity to be a head coach into dysfunction. Brian Flores, dysfunctional in Miami. He stood on the table, said, I don't want Tua as my quarterback. Right?
He was right.
Who looks like they had the right opinion today and who doesn't? Brian Flores is not leaving Minnesota and Kevin O'Connell to go to a dysfunctional destination. That was the point of my whole thing. Most of the guys on that list have already failed. Cliff Kingsbury, who y'all mentioned, already failed in Arizona, dysfunction. So they're looking for a stabilizing situation because they know this is probably their last opportunity. So it's not about getting the bag. It's not about the prestige of being an NFL head coach. It's about, I got to win. So I got to go where I know it's right. And I think Cleveland can be right, but Cleveland got to get out of Cleveland way. It seems like there's still a strong sentiment in the building that we know what we're doing. And obviously you don't.
Yeah, that's right. Well said.
I will say this. The reason I say I like what he said in terms of the quarterback situation was, he said, look, man, we don't know who our head coach is going to be. We don't know exactly who it's going to be. But I can't sit up here and tell a person they're going to handpick and we're going to tell you who to pick at quarterback. And then you come in here and can't look at nothing and say, well, I want this decision. The Cleveland Browns, if they do want to coach, they do have to be collaborative. And that person has to have some sort of say-so in what is happening in the building. I agree completely with that. But what I will say is this. It's somebody that's going, if it's 1 of 32, there may be some people that won't take the job, but there will be some people that look at it and say, I got 2 first-round picks. I got some things I can do defensively, and I want to sit in front of you and look at you eye to eye and say, what is the plan, how we going to move, and this is what I bring to the table. Now, it's up to you to sit up in there in that table and say, either I like it or I don't, I'm going to pass on it. But there will be a lot of people, and Andrew Berry's job is going to have to be, if he's going to pick the guy, he's going to have to convince some people that it ain't going to be an issue. That's what the interview process is about. Now, we'll ask you this question. In this case, would you prefer a defensive-minded head coach or offensive-minded guy or a coordinator in terms of your head coach, or do you not have a preference?
I don't have a preference because the right fit is the right fit. It's like saying I'm looking for a wife, but I only want her to be 6 foot plus, be a former collegiate athlete that was at least a first team All-American, but have no kids. You know what I mean? Like, the right candidate is the right candidate.
That's how internet dating work now, Shaun.
Hey, G. Bush, you can pick and choose, but they do smudge the facts a little bit, so you can't never tell you see it in person. I want to make a point to what you said. There are no secrets in coaching circles in the National Football League. You talked about the interview process. It's very well known that Cleveland has been a dysfunctional organization. There are public stories out about some of the interview mishaps that have happened previously, about the inability of Cleveland to properly, go through candidates and not offend people and not turn people off. So now I'm to presume that they're going to do a 180 after the owner got up in front. And shout out to Mr. Haslam and all his success, but he's delusional too. We're not dysfunctional. Are you serious? Like it's words that Dave said. I'm not making stuff up. And you guys know I'm not emotional. I do not operate in emotion. I'm passionate this morning because I think the truth needs to be spoken. And this idea that we've got it all figured out, we just got to go and add a head coach that's going to let Schwartz run the defense and Barry do the majority of the talent acquisition, that is ludicrous when it comes to getting the best candidate.
Shaun, you let's say right now the Browns got the 6th pick in the draft, and you said on multiple occasions that for a small fee you can fix the Browns.
I can.
Now they $12 million over the cap. They got 2 picks in the first round. Knowing our luck, Jacksonville will win the Super Bowl, so we'll have a 32nd pick. 6 and 32. What you doing?
First thing I'm doing is I'm addressing Browns faithful, and I'm gonna tell them, you can put a Band-Aid on something, or you can go and have surgery. And this organization needs surgery. Surgery takes patience. There's rehab that comes after surgery, right? But once you get through with the rehab, guess what? If the surgery is successful, you're going to be bigger and better, and you're going to have a sustainable item. The Browns are not a quick fix. Give me an opportunity to go in here and get this thing right. Get the right kind of players in here with the right mentality that love the game of football, that want to be great on the field and in the community. And listen, we're going to give you a product that you can be proud of for an extended period of time. This is not a team that's going to be fixed by the 6th pick in the draft. To answer your question directly, I am always a best player available in the draft guy. The draft is the only opportunity you have to add elite talent at bargain basement prices. To get some of the caliber of players you can get in the draft on rookie deals and free agency, you'd have to pay a premium. So that's why I'm a best available guy. I'm not reaching because I got a need. Because take Mendoza, for instance. I think Mendoza's probably going to be the number 1 rated quarterback in this draft. But let me ask you a question. Whoever drafts Mendoza, from a pure talent standpoint, where does Mendoza rank right now, 1 to 32 in the National Football League? Just because I got the number 1 quarterback in this draft, where do I now sit in the league?
You mean in year 1 or in year 5, you think?
As a prospect, does he present Josh Allen's ceiling?
No, probably not.
What's his comp in the National Football League? A guy that's done it 1 year at Indiana. Just 1 year.
Sean, Dane Brugler put out this morning. Someone tweeted. Let me pull up the tweet. But he said he's not anywhere near as highly graded a prospect as Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, and Drake May was.
I was just about to say that, Mike.
He had him in the same.
I was just about to say that.
If
you put Mendoza in that draft with Bo Nix, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, he's the 5th quarterback taken.
I mean, Bo Nix was 6, and they're the 1 seed in the. I don't like Bo Nix, but I mean, he turned out to be.
I'm saying he would probably go over JJ. He would probably go over JJ McCarthy as a prospect. So I'm saying if they put him in that draft, he's probably the 5th quarterback taken.
Yeah.
So I'm not knocking Mendoza. I'm just saying let's not act like Mendoza's this transcendent talent that's going to galvanize, whatever organization he goes to, and he's going to make wine out of water. Like, this isn't Jesus coming into the draft. You know what I'm saying?
What happens?
Let's keep it in context.
Hey, by the way, what happens on Friday night when Dante Moore balls out and beats the Hoosiers?
So here's what's interesting.
Is there a chance that Mendoza's not the number 1 pick?
I think it's possible.
I don't think so. I don't think so because I think Mendoza is going to – both of them are good guys. It seems like Mendoza's a little more personable. So when it comes to the process after the season's over, interviewing with teams and stuff, I think some team will fall in love. If you're Dante Moore, excuse me, guys, and I'm his agent, the first question we got to ask is, hey, what does Las Vegas think about us? Because if the Raiders don't take me, I'm going back to school. I'm not going to the Jets.
Why are the Raiders,
as
dysfunctional as the Jets are, aren't the Raiders just as dysfunctional?
So I do have something that I've heard, and I've got this from a very reliable source, and I don't know if it will work. But the Raiders' plan A is to offer the Pittsburgh Steelers the number 1 pick in the draft for Mike Tomlin.
Really?
Say one more time.
Say that one more again.
Hold on.
He said he heard that the Raiders are going to trade the first overall pick in the draft for Mike Tomlin.
For Mike T.
Hey, man, if that
happens, dog, I'm going to name you the greatest analyst of all time.
Oh, my God.
You're the greatest. You're the GOAT. If that happens, you are the GOAT. I will shut up. I won't say nothing else.
That would be nuts. I guess you can't do that, though, for a coach. I know Tomlin's a good coach.
Well, remember the Raiders were given 2 number 1s by the Bucks for John Gruden. John Gruden came to Tampa.
But they weren't first overall picks, right?
Well, watch. So for the deal to work, and I'm just saying what the energy is here in Vegas inside the building.
Yeah.
I have plans. Pittsburgh does not like to change head coaches, right?
Right. 3
in the history of their thing. So you got to dangle a different kind of fruit in front of them to even have them think about it. They probably will still say no, but maybe, just maybe, the Raiders feel like because Rodgers is older, if Pittsburgh loves Mendoza or more, if he declares for the draft, maybe the number 1 pick might be enough to pry Mike Tomlin out of Pittsburgh.
You'd do that if you were the Raiders, Sean?
Absolutely not.
I'm about to say, hold on.
You were saying it like
rewind that.
You were saying it like you was
Stop
for
it.
it. That's
Stop
all
it.
right.
Rewind that.
No.
That man came on this airways and he said the Browns was ludicrous and losing. Then he got, let me find out that the Raiders is trading number one overall picks.
This said the Jets was dysfunctional.
What?
But so who the worst one?
Who the worst?
Three. That's what I want to know.
Give me them Browns.
Who's the worst? Who's the most dysfunctional organization?
If the NFL like delegated their worst organization to the UFL for a year, I don't know, they'll come with a tiebreaker, dog. There's some bad business going on out there. But understand, just so I'm clear, that's the information I got from out inside the Raiders organization. If I had the number one pick and I was GM of the Raiders, I think Geno is serviceable until we improve other places. I would be shopping the number one pick and trying to add a number one this year, add a number one next year, add 2 twos, because to me, that's a quick way to get healthy with elite talent. Then I'd be active in free agency. That's what I would personally be doing, and I'll be setting up for next year, because I'm telling you right now, when I came on this show before the season, I said Arch Manning was going to have a Josh Allen type of progression, right? Really raw product, going to get better and better the more he plays. I fully expect Arch Manning to be big time next year. And he's the real prize, in my opinion.
Is there anybody else you got your eye on for next year, or is it just him?
Well, the rest of them not trustworthy.
Sean,
And it's hard to evaluate these guys because they're moving around so much.
Yeah.
They're in new systems.
Yeah.
You know, they're so entitled. Like, can you believe Texas Tech just gave, was it Sorensby from Cincinnati?
Brandon
$5 million?
$5 million. You got to be out of your god dang mind.
What? Hey, Dustin, what a time to be alive. Like,
Bro.
finally, like, we're just too young. Like, this is crazy.
You
I
guys
saw
missed
it was very funny the other day. I saw a headline. It was like back in whatever it was, the 70s, when SMU got the death penalty for these players that got $60,000. and then the headline now is a quarterback from Cincinnati is getting paid $5 million.
They took Reggie Bush Heisman because he was getting hooked up with a crib.
Bro, they got
They
Terrell
tried to
Pryor
put Jim Tressel in hell for tattoos.
Terrell Pryor got tattoos, bro.
Oh man,
That's wild. Listen, I'm suing.
No, it's the reparations old, man.
Listen, I'm suing. I got to go back and get my money. I got to go. So if I'm Reggie Bush, I got to go back and get it. But here's what I'm
Sean,
going
you would have made big money in college, especially your last 2 years leading the league in touchdowns. I think you led the league in completion percentage last year.
I'm wired the right way.
Yeah,
I was never leaving my brothers. I was just going to encourage Tulane.
But you were still gotten paid
Come
though.
up. Come up with a package that works. By the way, I do want to make sure that the world knows I was the first ever dual threat quarterback. If you go and look it up, I was the first
Randall
quarterback.
Cunningham. What about Randall Cunningham?
Listen. In college football, when I say dual threat, I mean kill you throwing it, kill you running it. I was the first quarterback, Bush, in college history to throw for over 3,000 yards and rush for over 500 in the same season. First ever.
Damn. Did you come out before or after T. Martin?
T. Martin's younger than me.
Okay. All right.
And I don't think T. Martin ever threw 3,000 in college.
I remember.
what was your last year in college? 2000? 99?
No, 98 season.
98?
You said 3,000 throwing and what rushing?
Yep.
Whoa.
500 rushing.
So 98, you was done in 98, right?
98 was his senior
98
year.
season.
When you done in 98, G?
No, I'm talking about junior in high school.
Man, Randall Cunningham did not
alive.
Randall Cunningham did not run in college.
2001, right?
Hey, look it up, guys.
I gotta look
it up,
this.
guys.
Randall Cunningham did not run at all in college. I don't know why.
Ever.
I gotta see this.
Well, Sean,
Yeah.
I'm looking at your college stats.
First ever.
You were correct. You were correct. 3,232 passing yards and 36 touchdowns. You ran for 532 and 10 touchdowns.
Steve Young came close, but he had 444 yards rushing.
But Sean, I gotta ask you a question. We can't have you on, and it has been since 2 games since we last had you on, and not ask about Shedeur Sanders' final progression this season. He won the last 2 games. Numbers don't back it up, but they did win those 2 games.
Reggie Collier.
Struggled in the first half.
They
of
won
week
the last
18.
2 games.
I said they.
Yeah.
Struggled in the first half, but did leave a game-winning drive against the Cincinnati Bengals. So, Sean, overall, from where we started to where the season ended, what do you make of Shedeur Sanders' progression in his rookie season?
I definitely think he did enough to be in a legitimate, fair competition to be the starter next year. I don't think he did so much that we can unequivocally just say we're not worried about quarterback. We're gonna go address everything else. But I could see a scenario. Here's where the one shining light. I think him and Deshaun get along.
Yeah, they do.
So I think him and Deshaun, if they have to bring Deshaun back just for the contractual reasons, I think him and Deshaun being in a quarterback competition is not the worst thing. You know, now you got two guys that have experience. I don't know, but the ceiling on either one of them is championship level right now, but you could be in a worse situation in the quarterback room.
Sean, would you, if you were the Browns, would the other quarterback, like let's say they get rid of Dylan Gabriel, right? Would the third quarterback, would you bring in another veteran, or would you draft another guy in the middle rounds?
Now, I think you either let Shedeur and Deshaun compete, or you get rid of all of them.
Okay.
Like bringing a third guy in, you cannot have a competition with three quarterbacks.
That's fair. That's a good point.
You're gonna bumble that. It doesn't work. Like either we're cool with Shedeur and Deshaun this upcoming season, and we're gonna let them compete and see how it plays itself out, or I think you got to just start all the way over.
Couldn't you, in theory, draft another young guy in the middle rounds? Say to Deshaun, hey, you're not the starter. You're going to be a backup on the team. That's it. The two young guys are going to compete for the starting job. No, you don't like that?
I haven't looked at all the quarterbacks that are in this draft, but I just don't see this quarterback class as that talented.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
You're out on that. Sean, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. Great stuff today.
Hey, man, I got to hit me up. I got to talk about these Raiders sources. We got to figure something out there with these Raiders, boy. They got Mike T.
Hey, man, fix your own guest bedroom first.
How sweet would Mike by the way, dude, wouldn't Tomlin just look sweet in that Raider gear?
He would
He was
man.
perfect fit.
Yeah.
All right, guys, Happy New Year, man.
See you, Sean.